Joining me now in studio is pollster and communication analyst Frank Luntz. He's been tracking voters in focus groups with the New York Times throughout 2024 and is here with some insights on what unfolded in this historic election. So, Frank, before we get to your focus groups, you admitted quite candidly that you were wrong about something major after the election. You thought this election, if I have you right, was over after the debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. What happened?
It simply wasn't. And in the end, the debate did not matter. The public is used to what Trump says. They did not hold it against him. The dogs and cats, which people made fun of, memes were created. It did not impact people because, and one of the things that we have to acknowledge is the importance of the truth. We have to tell it.
Well, that was not the truth when he said that.
No, and I thought that would kill him, but it didn't. And one of the things that really matters in elections going forward is we have the responsibility to tell them the truth, and they have the right to get the truth. And quite frankly, we are a different country today than we were even 8 years ago. What we judge people by, sometimes it's ignoring the information becomes more important than what you say. And that was the challenge with Harris. She didn't say enough.
All right. So let's get to your focus groups. You did a series of focus groups with the young voters who were persuadable, undecided late in the summer, and then you went back right before the election after they had voted early. Let's play a little bit of the conversation you had with them. This was on Zoom. I want to play just a short clip.
How many of you, by a show of hands, disliked both candidates? Do you have a negative opinion of both? It is literally every single person here. What does that say to you about American democracy, that you didn't like the Republican or the Democrat? Yes, you go first.
I mean, I think it just shows how polarized we've become, and that, I mean, people vote based on their party over country. And I mean, it's unfortunate to see. I don't think we'll ever see another election in our lifetime where there's one candidate that truly wins in a Reagan landslide.
Harris ran on the platform of, I'm not Trump. And that's not enough to be a president. You need to have more than, well, I'm better than this person. You got to explain how you're going to fix our democracy, how you're going to make the United States a better place. And I didn't get that from her. And if she's saying, I'm just going to do everything the same as Biden, well, then I have concerns too, because I'm not really happy with the direction that our country is going in terms of inflation and other issues in our economy.
And that was actually the day after the election. So bottom line, what was the factor with these people that were undecided and then broke against Kamala Harris?
They did not like either candidate, that was clear. They thought that Trump was offensive and abusive in his language and polarizing. But in the end, she didn't answer the question that they wanted to know. What are you going to do in the first hour, in the first day, in the first week, the first month, and so on? They felt they had the right to hear this, and if she won't tell them that, then they couldn't give her their vote. And other voters, not just the young voters, felt that she never came clean with what she wanted to do. And the fact that she changed her positions on some issues, she never really explained it.
She talked too much about Trump.
It was too much defining what Trump was.
Not defining herself.
And John, we all know what Trump is. We experienced him for 4 years. Whoever told her to focus on him committed political malpractice. Because in the end, you cannot change someone's point of view on him. It was all about her.
Okay, there was a lot of talk about the gender gap throughout this campaign, usually focusing on how she was doing on women and Trump's problems with women. But you spent some focus groups talking with men who had voted for Hillary Clinton, they had voted for Joe Biden, and then they voted for Donald Trump.
He was their voice. In him, they saw someone who represented them, and with her, they saw, and it was great, young women getting excited for the first time, surrounded by women, talking about issues like abortion. That was great for the female vote. But men felt ignored, they felt forgotten, and they felt like they didn't even matter. And in the end, the Democratic Party has to keep both of them. It is not enough to capture the women's vote. These middle-class, middle-income, moderate men, I call it M cubed, they're the key to any election, and they felt betrayed by her.
Okay, so before you go, what do Democrats have to do to get competitive again?
How do you win when you lose the union vote? They had the union leadership, but not the union membership. How do you win if you lose Latinos? In fact, a majority of Latino men voted for Trump.
52%.
It's incredible how many traditional Democrats, and the reason why is that she became ideological, and what they want is simple common sense. What they want is a meaningful, measurable change from the past, and she's talking about having no difference in her policies versus Joe Biden. The Democrats have to do this examination, and it's not about getting angry with Donald Trump. It's figuring out exactly the words, the phrases, and the messages that will appeal to these voters that felt alienated from the Democratic Party.
All right, Frank Luntz, thank you a lot. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, John.